Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Mythic Initiative. My name is Chris, and I will be your resident keeper for these stories. With that, let us start our introduction train with C.
Hi everyone, my name is C. I use they them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at PieSharpArt. We know it, we love it. My voice cracked. That was weird. You can find me playing Eden tonight, who uses they, he pronouns and is the hex. They're doing a normal amount, I think, just generally speaking. And I'm going to pass it over to my delightful twin, Vin.
Oh golly, oh gee. Hi, hey guys, I'm Vin of Vinvox VA. My pronouns are he, they, and I'll be playing Heaven, the divine. She, any pronouns. I'm gonna slide it over to CJ.
Hi everyone. Sometimes it takes me a while to find where to click the button. I'm CJ, and I'm pronounced tonight. I'm playing Vic. She, they, he pronouns. I don't know. One day they might change. Who cares? Uh, I I never know what to say here, but we're gonna have a normal one today. Do not, if you were here last week, just forget about all that. This week it's normal and fun. I'm passing it to Hamna.
Speaking of normal and fun, hi, my name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. Today, I will be playing Misfit, who uses he, they pronouns. Misfit is the summoned and one of the children of the apocalypse, and the former. Did I say child of the apocalypse? I meant child of the devil, and the former harbinger of the apocalypse. And with that, I will pass it back over to you, Chris.
Thank you very much. With that, remember the content warnings for this episode. This episode, in particular, contains fantasy violence, apocalypse, gore, blood, familial struggles, severe weather, drug abuse, romance, references to sexual entanglements and romance, monsters and monstrosities, and trauma. So if none of these, if again, content warnings, there's a bunch of other media if this doesn't fit your boat. So with that, Mythics, are we ready to start this week right? That's the answer I'm looking for. With that, our camera zooms not on Tenakana, but we see it begin to zoom all the way down as it goes between the dirt and cracks. As we see hell, or in particular, this region of hell, belonging to the one and only father of Misfit, Iblis. We zoom in into their castle, and we find him and another figure, the Dread King, an individual who has glowing blue skin and white hair that sort of flows and weaves. We see Kelgor on his side and in robes that are tattered, like if someone was trying to survive for a very long time with dog tags hanging off of their chest. We see Iblis looking out the window as we see legions of hell are marching out of the castle interior into the exterior to meet up at the rendezvous as the apocalypse is coming. There's a smile on Iblis as he's happy with the results. Turns around and greets the Dread King. My friend, it's been too long. Dread King kind of comes around, sits. It has been. I'm assuming that your son is now in power. Tyr is doing quite the fantastic job. The boy is. I doubted him, but he has shown me the errors of my choice in Misfit. Oh, would you care for a drink? He kind of goes over to a bar, pops open wine. This is a particularly old vintage from the 1400s. I think it's aged perfectly. You see, the Dread King kind of refuses. I'm good. He pours himself a glass, swirls it around, smells it. You know, sits in his seat. I've always wondered why you decided to join arms with my son, and let alone join arms with me. The Dread King responds back, his almost emotionless state. I am trying to put this all behind me. I'm trying to get what's mine, and that's it. Iblis kind of, you don't have to lie here. No one is going to hold it against you if you don't like Naomi. Hell, I don't like Naomi. We could just kill her for you if you want. You see, his tone changes as he kind of gets up. I'm fine. Thank you, but just make sure you fulfill your part. You see Bliss kind of down a drink. Of course, but there is one thing that you must promise me, and I don't make promises lightly. Dread King turns around, tired. What? None of my children are to be harmed in my escapades, including Miss Foot. While they may not be, how you would say, doing their responsibility in an efficient manner, they are still my children. We see the Dread King. I will do my best to make sure they're not in harm's way. As we can see, his fingers are crossed behind his back. As they are talking, we hear something from the outside. They both get up, look concerned, looking out the courtyard, and see Vic and Misfoot as they are in hell. You see Iblis, get the god. You see the Dread King. Forget about it. Go with the rest of your army. I'll take care of this. Are you sure we can? I'll take care of this. Just go. He proceeds to walk off as the Dread King slowly pulls up a chair and proceeds to watch the two of you from high up in a banister. As we zoom in on Misfoot and Vic, what are you two doing as you are almost about maybe 100 yards from each other, staring each other down?
I think Misfit had, last we saw him, had the compass in one hand, had Vic's ankle in the other hand, and had dragged her down to hell, quite literally. And so I think what we see is, at first we see the two of them kind of like toppling into this courtyard and kind of like tumbling down one on top of the other over each other through this landscape. And there is this look of frustration, beyond frustration, in Misfit's face, in his eyes, as they put the compass like kind of like in their pocket, and they reach down for their sword, and they go and grab it, and they kind of like unfurl it out from their pants pocket. And with Vic, I think you're probably like maybe like a few feet away from Misfit at this point. I think Misfit, without saying anything, just charges towards you, screaming at the top of their lungs, and goes to attack you.
Oh, yes. I think Vic I think Vic is I don't think Vic's paying attention, actually. I think what's happening is the monstrosity that Vic was up on the surface has washed off a little bit, in like a almost as if like oil is melting off of a painting. You just see like the crown, the liquid crown that is supposed to symbolize like heat, just kind of like slops off onto the ground, as well as the wings, as well as like Vic's hands are turning to normal. And Vic is like standing there, like almost as if they had tasted something. And they're just kind of like thinking on this as a misfit is attacking.
And Misfit, if Vic doesn't try to stop him at all, is just going to, I think, just like tackle you from beneath the waist and push you down really hard as they possibly can, down onto the ground. He gets his knee up onto your sternum, like one of his knees, sword in hand, looking down at you, says, "You are not more powerful than me."
Yeah, that's what you think. And Vic is going to grab your ankle and almost similarly kind of like using that as not, I guess, a fulcrum. I don't know physics terms. Grabs the ankle to just kind of pull you off as best as possible and throw you just to the right, any direction.
And Misfit goes, I think, like sliding across the floor to the right, manages to like catch his footing just in time so that he's not just like slamming up against the wall, but rather is like flat-footed on the ground, kind of hand sort of guiding them, sliding across the floor, looking at you with rage in their eyes, and they say, "What is your problem with me,
My
Vic?"
problem? Oh, my problem. My problem. You brought me to hell. You tried to use me for your own silly little games. And you have the nerve to ask me what's my problem, Misfits? What's your problem? Actually, you know what? I know your problem, Misfit. I can taste your problem, Misfit. You keep wrapping yourself up in all of this shit, all of this facade. You try to use me. I've known you for years, Misfit. And you think you can just pull on this monster that you think you can use inside of me to bring the to get home? What? To go home to bring the apocalypse? Fuck you. And then Vic is going to sprint forward, not using the speed powers, and just punch.
And Misfit, as you're saying all of this, I think you can see it. You can still taste it in the air from when you had eaten his magic, from when you had taken the bit of them that they had tried to use on you. And that feeling that you had felt when you ate their magic was one of loneliness. It was the magic of somebody who... It's the feeling of being alone in a crowd and watching everybody else around you find connection, find people that they resonate with, find people that they love, and feeling like you're the only one left out. It's the feeling of insecurity that comes with wondering whether there's something wrong with you. And that's why nobody's ever loved you. And you can sort of still taste that feeling as you're running towards Misfit. And when you say that, I think Misfit is like taken aback just long enough that you manage to land this punch. And Misfit kind of like reels back and looks at you and says, "Use you. Fine, if that's what you want to call it. Yeah, I was trying to use you to get back here to start the apocalypse, but I was trapped. Up until this very moment, I was trapped somewhere that I didn't belong. You, of all people, should know that. And all of this time, you may think I was trying to use you, use the monster that's inside you, but I was trying to free you as well, Vic. To get you to see that the monster inside of you is not a cage, but the fucking organization was the cage. I wanted something better for us. Both of us."
And I think Vic Vic punches you and you kind of fall back a little bit. You say that. And I think kind of as you said, you see Vic is crying. Like tears in her eyes. Fuck you! And punches you again. What?
I think...
Yeah, good.
Go for it. Finish your thought.
What? So you wouldn't be as lonely?
this time, Misfit, I think, takes their sword and like pulls it up against in front of them to block your punch. And so I think you like land against the crossguard of their sword, not against the blade, not hurting yourself necessarily, but just sort of like just enough to push back. And Misfit kind of like resists against the weight of your punch. Maybe? Is that so bad? All of this time, I thought I had someone by my side while I was here. I thought I had Eden, but I don't. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. The point being that I have been more alone than I realized all this time. Is it so bad?
And I think kind of as you're blocking, Vic kind of like jumps up and kicks the blade as hard as you can to get as much distance between the two of them as possible. Oh, so you're acting out because you think Eden, doesn't love you?
It's not just Eden. Look around, and Misfit like gestures, sword in hand, with using the other hand. I think wings still unfurled. They're like flapping a little bit at this. Look around. Does this look like a place that wants me?
So you try to destroy the home that you had.
It wasn't home for me.
Then what is home? Misfits.
I don't
Tell
know.
me. Oh my God. Just because you don't know something doesn't mean you can't keep destroying things.
I have been trying to create a home for myself all this time. And Misfit, I think, takes a beat of their wings, like with each syllable as they speak, and they teleport right behind you at sort of the end of this sentence. And they take their sword and they kind of like swing at you just hard enough, I think, like at your legs to try and like topple you to the ground.
Yeah, I think that happens, and I think Vic hits the ground on their back and then kind of like rolls out of it to stand up. What about us, Misfit? You keep saying Eden, you keep saying home. What about us? Do you think we don't want to help you?
What have
about
you?
Our home?
What home are you talking about? Are you talking about the house? The one that you burned down?
Talking about you. Talking about heaven. Talking about Eden. I'm talking about Naomi. You all left. And you come back. And Naomi's in a coma. And you want to use me to destroy the world. How can you call that a home? How can you call any of that home? How can I call that home? What about us, Misfit?
Does it ping as truth when Vic refers to herself as home for Misfit?
Yeah. I think it's not a lie. Maybe you can sense the unsureness, almost as if Vic is truly asking because these words have never been said.
And Misfit, taken aback by the lack of a sensation in his body, the lack of the same pinging, the same tingling down his spine that he feels when someone's lying to him, he shakes his head, and I think he like takes his blade in both of his hands and sort of like holds it in front of Vic's face. The tip just like inches away from your nose. What are you talking about? Ever since we were younger, I got summoned by Eden, you've never cared about me.
The fuck is wrong with you? That's not even close to true, Misfit. What? Because I used to get angry? I still get angry. Fuck. What? Because I break things? Because I don't know how to talk? Misfit, I care about you so deeply. I didn't know that I could say that. Okay, I didn't know I could say that for so fucking long. It has taken me this long to even tell. It took me until you all left for me to even be able to express to heaven that to say even to Eden. Ugh.
I've never been worth it. I've never been somebody that you can care about. I fuck up all the time. I got stuck here. For fuck's sake. Or not here, but there. I couldn't even keep the apocalypse from happening, and Misfit goes to their neck where they normally would wear their mother's necklace to try and feel it, and not feeling it, he kind of like pats around, goes to his pocket. Fuck, no. Fuck, and I think Misfit drops the sword next to Vic's head. I think like the sword kind of like clanging on the ground next to your face. You can still feel the heat coming off of the flames as they sort of like flicker and start to die down. And Misfit falls to his knees in front of you. And I can't even make my mother proud.
Misfit, and Vic kind of is looking around. I don't know what your family is like. I really don't. This is my first time in your house. I think that's where we are. I don't need to know your family to know that there's no reason for your mother to not be proud of you. Well, I mean, if, I don't know, your mom's a therapist, maybe she wouldn't be happy that you keep pushing us away, but look, I'm a monster. You know this. I break shit. I've killed people. I remember every single thing I've ever done, and I can tell that you're not that different from me. And if what I tasted is correct, then you are just holding so much shit in.
I just wanted to do something right. I just wanted to make my dad proud. For once.
And I think Vic kind of kneels down at you, with you. If your dad is someone that wants you to destroy us, even if we've meant anything to you, then I don't think you should be making him proud. At least not trying to.
And I think Misfit closes his eyes like really, really tightly, takes a deep breath, and when they open them again, they look at you like this like sad puppy dog it's been left out in the rain for too long, and he says, I was trying to work on that. Trying to find a way to keep all of you around afterwards, but fuck. I don't have control over that anymore.
Does Vic know that happened? Were we there for that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just CJ can remember.
You can also see like the tattoo is like not on
Yeah.
Misfit's chest anymore as well.
Yeah, I saw, I heard. You are no better than fucking Eden, Jesus Christ.
And I'll say before you're able to get a thought across, you, Misfoot, can see because you're staring towards your house. You can see coming out the door, both of them opening at the same time, a la Aragon from Lord of the Rings. Coming out, you see the Dread King coming out and just sitting on the steps, arms crossed and looking at the both of you.
Misfit sees that, and I think like I imagine Vic has like their back like turned towards
Yes.
towards the Dread King, and so Misfit kind of like I think like takes an arm and like grabs Vic to like push her behind them, and like starts to like back away and says, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
I have my reasons, but I do have to say I'm surprised. Whenever I think I know you all, you tend to get deeper and deeper. It's almost like a jigsaw puzzle. I keep finding a piece to add.
Mm,
You're looking
Vic?
for this. You kind of see that somehow, for some reason, he has your mother's necklace.
Seeing the necklace, Misfit immediately beats his wings and teleports towards the Dread King and tries to take the necklace, like wrenching it out of his hand.
You teleport, and as you sort of put your hand around it, you see the sword of Kelgar goes immediately straight towards your neck. In a sense of one simple motion, and he could end you.
I want. Sorry, to turn my light back on. There we go. Sorry, I want. Just turn off. I want to make the Dread King hesitate enough so that Misfit can grab this and like not get cut. So I would like to use my move, burn everything internally to sear the Dread King. I don't know how much it's going to hurt him. I've seen this freak before, but
Roll kick some ass real quick.
yeah.
And as you're kind of preparing that, you see he looks you in the eye, Misfoot, and goes, "I'm not your enemy. After listening to what you've said, as cliche as this is gonna sound, we're not so different. We both have parents that we've tried to live up to, and we both try to make the world our own." And what did you get?
Yeah, I got a 13.
With that, you got your harm as well. You get a also. You have the advantage, so +1, or you can inflict more harm, or less harm you suffer, or you can force them where you want them to be.
Yeah, force them where I want them to be.
Fantastic.
I think Vic wants to. I think Vic is calm right now. I think Vic looks at the Dread King, notices that Misfit has teleported over, and I think for once in this entire series, there's a moment, there is rage, and then there is focus. And as they see, kind of like in that slow motion, the sword Kelgard touching Misfit's neck, Vic just heats up like inside of the Dread King's chest.
You see the energy kind of. He has to sort of almost quick dash off to the side as you see him go off to the side, leaving the necklace there for you, Misfoot, on the ground. As you see, he's on the side trying to catch his breath, but you see that it doesn't burn him. It's almost like it gets converted into part of him. As you see that energy swirl up and go straight into Kelgar, only powering it up more. You see him take a beat back. I don't want to fight you. Plus, you're running out of time.
I think Vic is next to Misfit at this point, kind of sped over.
Misfit takes the necklace, picks it up, and I would like to use my move, GM. What are you looking at? And specifically, I would like to ask the question of, tell me something about the apocalypse. I feel like the Dread King knows something that we don't.
What do you ask him in person?
I think Misfit takes this necklace in hand and looks over at the Dread King, sees Kelgard, registering that first of all Kelgard is with this man now, and kind of like swirling in his head is his mother's words about not destroying the world, about using this power to create something better instead. And something about that, I think, like pings in Misfit's head with the words that the Dread King had said about wanting to fashion a new world of some kind. And so I think Misfit looks over at the Dread King with this sort of like, not familiarity, but curiosity almost, and says, what kind of world are you planning on bringing about?
Well, I can tell you it's definitely not your father's vision. I'm not in the business of destruction. I'm in the business of terraformation, of rejuvenation. I don't want to destroy the world. I want to make it something new. Something just. And
You
with
call
that,
this justice?
well, if you know the full story, you will. But again, you're running out of time. To give you a little bit of a leg up, your brother's not necessarily Herald yet. He has to get coronated first. Which means all you have to do is find out where he's being coronated, and from there stop him before he unleashes that last horn.
And I don't suppose you would be so kind as to tell us where that is.
I don't want to make it too easy for you now.
Fine. And I think Misfit, clutching this necklace in hand, I think it's the only reason that Misfit isn't just straight up attacking the Dread King right now. I think this necklace, this connection to their mother, the fact that the Dread King is using very similar words and ideologies to his mother, it's creating hesitation for Misfit. And I think that is the only reason that they kind of take a step back. They put their sword away, and with that hand, they hold out and they grab, if it's okay with you, Vic's hand. And I say, I'm sorry, Vic, for everything. I think we have a last mission to do.
It's fine. And I think Vic kind of pulls you in, kind of like what you'd think like brothers would do.
Okay, no,
Yeah, come on,
no.
But I think as you're like recoiling, I think Vic just kind of like, if you had asked, I probably just would have tried to get you home.
Not used to people just giving me things.
I mean, like, what the fuck am I gonna do with a portal to hell?
Speaking of which, you see him have a good trip, you two. As you see in his hand, he has your portal to hell device and proceeds to activate it as you get swept up.
I hate him so bad. I hate him so bad.
How
Vic
is
is
it?
Vic is saying this. Like, I hate him so bad.
And I think Misfit goes to the pocket where they had put this, and they're like, how?
You see that it kind of cuts right quick as you see that as he had you at the neck, dropping the necklace, you see right quick he went for your pocket, took it, and went across.
Smooth criminal.
Well, I guess there is only one other way out then. And
No, he teleports.
No, he said
the
it as he
both of
said.
them.
oh,
Yeah,
he
said
said
this
all
now.
of us. Okay.
Yep.
Oh my god. I thought he left us here. And I was like,
No,
bro.
he teleports you. He did. But for the most part, you are teleported as you go back to the mortal realm. And with that, we cut over to Eden and Heaven. As the two of you are at the doorstep of the observatory after walking, taking a bus, taking another bus, again covered in swamp water, smelling like all holy hell, having to deal with several city goers, which varied from you're too friendly to you need to back off, until you reach the doorstep of the bus, finally leaving you all the way out in the middle of nowhere where the observatory is.
We do have a takeout box from IHOP, just so you're aware.
Fantastic. Yeah, you did go for pancakes, so you took a quick trip, sat down, had some pancakes, and proceeded to go off. As you are at the doorstep again of the observatory. So with that, what are my two hunters doing in this scenario?
Well, they haven't come back yet. Should we is this the proper time to start worrying, or do we give it a couple more minutes? Oh,
I've been worried since they left, personally.
I was trying to hold out on hope. It's those two. If anyone can, I don't know where anything went. I'll give
Yeah,
it
we
15
just
more
didn't
minutes.
leave. Yeah, okay. We just didn't leave things on perfect footing.
When do we though? That you make it sound like we're always.
Yeah, no, but that was pretty bad. That was like top 5 worst Eden moments, and we went through the top 3 like a few days ago, so that was
Yeah, back to back is a little harsh.
yeah, no. The list keeps getting longer. Is what I mean. Why do I fuck everything up?
I don't think it's intentional. It's we have a lot of hangups, and one day they'll be fixed. I really can't help you there.
Yeah.
But not because I don't want to. It's just that's some soul searchy, honest to goodness, find a therapist Eden moment.
Yeah, you know, Vic said that the other day too. I'm trying.
I know you are.
I'm really
It's
I'm trying.
I'm glad you're trying.
And Eden kind of sits down on the steps of the observatory, anxiously tapping their foot, looking up at the sky, even though the portal would most likely come down from the ground. But they sit out there. I'm gonna wait for them to come back. I'll give it a few more minutes.
And of course, Eden sits with them. Well, Heaven sits with them. I was looking at Zoom. I can be rancid a few minutes longer.
Yeah, okay. Your pancakes are getting cold.
We are two literal magic beings, and microwaves exist. I promise the pancakes will be fine.
I don't personally like pancake or microwaves. I don't think I think it's like a I'm not up. I don't like it.
Okay.
It makes my magic feel weird, you know? Okay. And Heaven leans back and tentatively after a moment leans their head down on Heaven's shoulder instead of the other way around.
Fantastic. And while your assumption of they would teleport normally would usually be correct, we see just behind you just what looks like to be a red comet that just hits off that you don't notice yet or hear really, as you just see the two of you just crash into the middle of the woods. You see Misfoot, you land on a tree stump while Vic, you get impaled partially, slowly just grabbing yourself out.
Ow! Well, I remember these teleportations being a lot less painful when I used to do them before.
I think that was the Dread King special. And I think there's like a hole in Vic's stomach, and she just and it like closes.
You want to teach me how to do that? And I think you can see, maybe for the first time, realizing just how much you fucked up Misfoot. And you can see that they look like injured. I think one of their wings is maybe like bent at an odd angle, and there are small bruises starting to form on his face from like where you had punched him.
Yeah, I think Vic comes over, and if Chris will allow me a second time, I'd like to use my move to heal Misfit. Yeehaw.
A-okay.
Yeah, it's like a 10 plus 3. Or plus 2, because it's cool. So Vic kind of just come here. Like Vic is like still kind of reeled, doubling over. He just like places a hand on your shoulder. And I think you feel tension in a way. Something that is both anger and also calmness, but it's like a Rubik's Cube twisted and a knot tied into like a ship, but purposefully. And you gain, I think, like 2 health. You get 2 health back. And while Vic is
no longer unstable.
Let's go, stabilizing. And I think while Vic is like doubling over, okay. I should say I'm sorry. I'm not super good with words. If I wasn't able to write them down 100 times beforehand, or if we're not talking about, monster shit, I like know one thing, like 2 things: sex and being a monster.
You and I have that in common.
Great. 2 things actually. I don't know what's going on between, and Vic kind of walking as this happens. I don't know what's going on between you and Eden, but I haven't really said anything because I wasn't sure if it was like real based on the whole heartless thing. But I think I tasted something back during the dam.
I also, if we're being honest with each other, I also, this feels weird. Don't know whether that's real or not. From their side of things.
Well,
it's confusing. I felt, normally I can tell when people lie, and I can't tell with Eden, or couldn't tell with Eden. I don't know.
What I'm trying to say is I think, and I said this to Eden. You ever eat something that's like not good, but you can kind of like taste something like a little bit, like maybe like there's like one thing that like maybe tastes kind of good about it, like if you eat bad rice, like it's still rice.
Yeah. Sometimes there's like the nice like burnt top layer of a food, and that's the best part.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is I think you and Eden will be fine. it may have tasted hollow, but I think that's just because Eden has wrapped their heart up in a void just to act like it isn't there.
Even if that's
But-
true, I'm not sure after. And Misfit kind of like gestures to his chest where the tattoo is missing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I think Vic slaps you real hard, almost like undoing the healing that they just did. You like sense you a little bit. Just fucking say sorry and you love each other, and I think you'll be fine. I don't know. Second thing. I think the Dread King is like related to Naomi.
Hold on, what? You should have started with that.
I feel like at that point we like get home.
Yeah, we get to the rest of the group, I think.
Eden, I say Eden and Heaven, you see Vic and Misfoot just coming out of the woods, very just like your troop have lost half their health coming back home kind of look to them. As you see, they're just crawling almost out of the woods.
Eden stands up immediately, takes like 2.5 steps forward, and then kind of just stops himself and awkwardly stands there, like clenching and unclenching their hand.
I think you do that like in the middle of that conversation, so you hear Misfit go like, "You think Naomi is related to the Dread King? What does that even mean?"
Wait, what?
Evan, I'm home. Please give me a hug before I lose my mind.
No, don't. Oh.
Come on, let's do what they can't. I think Vic is like floating over like cutely. It's like, come on.
And they give in. It's very sweet and warm. Just to embarrass them.
Yeah. And Vic kind of like comes off of from floating on the ground and kind of like waits there a minute. It's like give it a moment, see if they hug each other.
Okay.
And Misfit, I think, sees this, and at like Vic asking for the hug, Misfit had been going like, "No, don't do it." And when the two of them hug, I think Misfit is just kind of like standing there and trying so hard not to look at Eden, but also trying not to look at the two hugging. So it's just like this awkward, like Misfit is just trying to look anywhere else.
Yeah, Eden is literally looking in the opposite direction, fidgeting with the top of the pancake to go container.
And I think the Misfit sees the container, like, because he can't not look at Eden at some point. So I think he's like looking away, and then eventually like notices the container and says, "You went to IHOP?"
Heaven was hungry. There's chocolate chip for you.
Mhm. Thanks. You didn't have
It's
to.
cold now.
That's what the microwave is for.
You like it too. Eden finally like actually snaps their head over and looks at Misfit. You like the microwave?
It's easy and convenient, yeah. I don't have to use my powers to heat it up, so.
It tastes weird. Speaking of weird magic, Vic, can you please stop?
And I think Vic is like, I think at that point, while you two are arguing, Vic is like leaning on Heaven, almost like admiring their work, hoping that you two would at least talk to each other. Yeah, the microwave like makes you feel weird whenever I like stand around. I think microwaves have souls.
Can you eat it?
I haven't tried. Where's Naomi, actually? I think that's another thing Vic would have tried to.
As you say, where's Naomi? You see coming flying out in terms of somebody gets thrown out the door. You see Vasco land face first into the dirt. And you see coming out in a swoon of silver-like energy, Jax, the angelic person that you saw before, now in full medieval silver armor with their wings glowing behind them, which is almost like a teal blue spear on the ground, points it at Vasco, going, "Now, I asked this question once, and I'm not going to ask it again. Where are the Mythics?"
Are
We're
you
right
serious?
in front of you.
Hey Vasco, at our scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this, and how much would you love me forever if I kicked this dude's ass for you?
I wouldn't. And you see surrounding you with about maybe 50 other angels in same armor surround all of you. As you see, Jax pulls out the spear and walks in the direction pointing it at Mistfoot. "I am here for the herald of the apocalypse."
Wrong
He didn't
person.
interjects himself in between the spear and Misfit, just kind of sidesteps in, uses the pancake box almost as like a little shield, and like pushes it kind of against the spear tip to like push it out of the way a little bit. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
"Well, I was sadly mistaken thinking it was Tia, but apparently it's not, which is my bad." As you see the other angels look like, "Come on." Like they're looking at it, it's like, "Come on." And it's like, either or, it looks like the apocalypse is 9. And with that, it means we need to imprison the herald of the apocalypse before they're able to launch it.
Hey,
It's not.
jackass. You're one step behind again. It's not me. It's Tyr.
And I'm supposed to believe. What is it again? You hear one of them go, "The devil of lies." Yeah, the devil of lies. I'm supposed to just believe you?
Oh, you're so smart, aren't you? Yes, see, and Misfit, I think, like, opens up their shirt a little bit more, and there's no tattoo, just their brown skin showing.
You see, he gets close to inspect.
Okay,
Kinda
all
waves
right.
his arm just to sort of just do a scan by. Shit. You see, it's not them, and you hear the, "Come on!" You
You seriously have got to be kidding me. Can you please do your job right for literally once in your life?
Okay, it's, first of all, I thought it was Tia, and I was like, okay, Tia's not going to mess things up. Apparently, whoever this Misfoot freaking did 2 in one night, so that was great. That's really, on my job. And
So
with
you
that-
really think that you could come in and sit down and have breakfast with us, with the Herald of the Apocalypse, when they were in fact the Herald of the Apocalypse, not notice, and then come back here and fuck it up so royally that you didn't think that I wouldn't kick your ass the second that you showed up? Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of my boyfriend's face, or I will fucking end your life. Don't fucking test me tonight, Jax. I've had enough.
roll manipulate somebody with advantage, because it's like, not only are you telling them off, but everybody knows that you're kind of exes, so everybody's just very awkwardly. You see, these are like full-on plated angels ready to stop and go to war, and all of them are acting like a crowd at the mall going, "Oh." Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
C, lie or truth?
True.
That's what I
And for
thought.
you, Vic?
After the lovers tell them off, I want to cartoonishly kick him away, just like go home, like Team Rocket style.
What did you get? What did you get?
I rolled a 9.
A 9.
I'm not very charming, even in the
You-
best of times.
You attempt to kick them off, and they get kicked, but not as far as you like. 'Cause again, you hurt. It's almost like your leg is sprained, so they get kicked a little bit. But for the most part, they go, "Fine. But if you do not stop this, since you want to take so much responsibility, Eden, it's your responsibility now. You have till the next morning." As you see, it is about almost, it's the afternoon now, so the sun is setting. "You have till the next sun rises, or we're going to take your boyfriend away and imprison them in the deepest pits that we can find, so that you can never find them again, and maybe we can stop the apocalypse. But if you want to take this responsibility, you have till dawn."
I have never once in my life had your help. So don't act like you're doing me a fucking favor.
You hear again, "Oh, damn." And you see, "We're rolling out, everyone. You have till dawn. Don't disappoint." As you see, they jump off the cliff. And just the last two you hear of like, this shit's gonna get good when we get to the Silver City, man. And it just dissipates.
And when
And Eden,
go, no, you go.
it's just Eden looking after the angels and then like pinching their brow and not turning around yet.
I don't think Misfit stopped staring at Eden after the word boyfriend came out of his mouth. I think that they were really enjoying watching Jax get like ripped apart throughout the whole thing. But as soon as Eden said boyfriend, Misfit like snapped their attention towards Eden and did not stop staring. And when everybody leaves, Misfit just kind of quietly says to Eden's back, who hasn't turned around yet, boyfriend?
And on Eden's face, we just see like the mask is like really starting to fall apart. Eden has had such a hard day. They're really starting to come unraveled here. And they kind of look over their shoulder. Just the first thing I thought of. Rather, they say, just that was the only thing that would get him to leave. Lie. That is not why they said that.
Misfit doesn't call you out on the lie. Not in front of everybody. But you can see it in their face, obviously, that he knows that you're lying. Right. He's a jackass anyway.
Jack's ass is what I always said.
Yeah, I don't really want to think about... Anyway, where is Naomi? You mentioned Naomi. And Misfit turns towards Vic.
I think Vic is picking up Vasco like a cat by the scruff,
Just,
kind of like dusting him off. Are you okay? What is happening?
I got jumped by
Yeah,
angels.
I'm
which
sorry.
is not something you think about. You think angels, oh, they're here to help. And then I got jumped by them, which is really saying a lot about my luck.
Vic is holding Vasco like a baby, cradling them, cleaning them off. I am so sorry that happened to you.
It's all right. It's all right. I mean, I was getting up here. 2 raccoons attacked me. They were winning, which is sad. I had a lightning wolf. It just watched as I got attacked by 2 raccoons. So, I'm not a very lucky person. If you're looking for Naomi, as I was being jumped, they kind of listened in, and kind of telepathically told me that they're going to the Elysium Diner to try to find where Tyr might be located. So that might be a place where you want to go head out. I'm going to try to find some help in case that doesn't pan out. Yeah.
Vic it's okay. Vic is like comforting them.
I'm good. You don't have to cradle me like that.
No, it's okay. Let it happen.
I'm a grown man. Please.
I think Vic just floats and puts Vasco down somewhere soft, like a child. And then as they're putting them down, I don't know if we're gonna like die in the next day, but I did want to say sorry for threatening to kill you.
Oh, it's no problem. I know you're going through a lot of things.
No, I mean like when I had a therapist, they said I have to like tell people things that I actually want. I was just trying to like be your friend or whatever.
A-okay with me. Water under the
Cool.
bridge.
Stay away from raccoons, bud. And then Vic
I'm gonna
like,
try.
speeds out as if like this is the most painful conversation they've had all day, more painful than talking to Misfit, like about their feelings.
Okay, good clarification. Did we all hear that, by the way? Vasco saying that Naomi is at the Elysium
Yeah, we
Diner?
heard everything, including
Okay.
the raccoon as well.
Oh, including the raccoons. Cool,
We heard
good.
everything. So
Misfit, I think, hearing that says, we don't have a lot of time. If the coronation goes off, then unfortunately Tyr will become, my lovely brother, will become the Herald of the Apocalypse, and I want my job back. So we should head to the Elysium Diner and go there now. I assume, Vic, you're going to be taking Heaven, so Eden, you're coming with me?
I'm the only one here who can't fly, so
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But no, I have myself. You have your pick of your sibling boyfriend and friend. You're so lucky.
Eden has the classic sibling, like, stop it, like, like, stop, you're embarrassing me, like, face on, like, classic as soon as Heaven says that. But their face, like, kind of shuts it down immediately. Well, if we're running out of time, let's just go.
And I think, oh god, this is so awkward. I'm like actually like physically cringing.
Last one off the ground has to carry Eden, and Heaven is off.
You know that I can't actually. And I think Misfit like is left on the ground because he can't actually fly. So
A whole new world. Like Vick's just like a whole new place. Like,
so Misfit goes over towards Eden. Says, if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
And he will wrap his arms tenderly around Eden's waist, pull them in close. Hold on tight. And he will unfurl his wings once more as they come out, and I will teleport or attempt to teleport Chris to the Elysium Diner.
Don't worry about it. Just teleport. I think what could go wrong?
Do you want me to roll for it? That's me asking
so
if you want me to
fucking
roll.
funny.
I'm very curious.
So
Roll for it, please.
Fucking funny if it did not work.
Fantastic. So with that, you say, hold on tight. This very romantic moment, looking each other's arms, and it's just like a. As you see, the two of you are flying away, and you see, like, they're not gone yet. You see, Misfoot's powers have really been drained, so you don't move. You just stand there embracing each other.
You think should we go back, or should they have a moment? I think they've had too many opportunity for moments.
You want to pick them up? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we fly back. I think Vic gets like splits a tree in half, and it's like get on, and like has everyone sit on the tree.
You just snap it, make makeshift bench. You see that this is a trailing path as well, so somebody's just walking about, just seeing one person just snap a tree in half and proceeds to fly away as they're scarred partially. And as you go into the night, you see at the moment it's going to be a rainy one. You see thunderous clouds, but not a blue, but a purple. As you see that it's beginning to happen, Misfoot. You're starting to see the signs of the end is near. But as you guys fly for about maybe a good 10-15 minutes, you find yourself in the parking lot of the Elysium Diner. This is a place that you all have been to, but you don't know whether it's myth, rumor, or if it's actually true. You'll find out soon enough, but what you heard and what you've heard from either a party or just talking offhand or actually talking with people inside is that this diner is owned by a deity of death. Which one? Nobody knows. It could be death itself. But it is rumored that if anybody gets a meal for free, in terms of they comp it, it is a sign that death is near for this individual. And it's very scary thought for anybody that comes in here. Most people that come here, especially you all, it's more of a feeling when you come here. No one comes here not by accident. You know this to be a place of destiny and a place of fate. You see its neon pink sign emanating towards this sort of dark city, the dark city. And its pink glow and the blue highlight that goes across. It's aluminum foil-esque kind of textures on the outside. As you can see from the windows inside each square, you see Naomi. And Vic, you see just in the far distance, not sitting next to each other, you see Dell as well, eating here. All by themselves, with no one around. As you find yourself at the precipice of this diner. And I think this is a good place to take a quick break before we get into it. So please, everyone take a bathroom break, take a water break, and we'll be with you shortly. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back. With it, we start as each one of you enter into the inside of this diner. As you open up the door, you see it rings. Inside, it's relatively smallish in nature. You see that it's made of almost like a 50s style. You see it's sort of got red bar stools. It's very clean. And you can see that it's quiet. There's only like 2 people. And with that, you see Naomi in one section, and you see Dell in the other. You see Dell's eating, looks up, but continues to eat. As you see Naomi go, "Children, hello. You've caught up with me. I'm surprised. Did Vasco get to you?"
It was more like we got to Vasco.
Oh, that's good. He's alive, right?
Yes. I mean, you know what? I'm not going to get into ethics because I'm not the person to be doing that. Yeah, Vasco's alive.
That's fantastic. He seems like a wonderful person, and the last thing I would want is for him to die to angels. Or
Why
be
do you
imprisoned by them.
sound so surprised that we're here?
Well, I wasn't sure if Vasco was gonna make it through the interrogation, to be honest. He seems like a very weak link. I saw him get attacked by 2 raccoons, and he did not fare great.
It gets like starry-eyed and then like shakes it off. Yeah, we heard. Hey Naomi. Actually, I think Vic looks around. Is there like a scary looking death person like anywhere within sight?
You, again, normal, but your normal old-fashioned American diner. You see the only other person is in the back, which you can only see part of them because it's like a, like a kitchen kind of like counter in a sense. It cuts over into the kitchen. You see somebody just whipping up some food in the back all by themselves.
Yeah. And I think Vic is purposely standing in a way to which like her back is to Dell, because she doesn't want to deal with that problem. Hey Naomi, this is like the death diner, right? Like where if you get a free meal, you like die. Right?
I mean, technically yes, but it belongs to a very close friend of mine.
Yeah.
Would you like to meet them?
No, maybe not right now because there's a lot of implications to that.
Well, they're cooking you your favorite meals right now.
Please don't tell me it's free. Please do not fucking tell me it's free. I do not have the mental wherewithal for this.
No, but you don't figure that out till the end. But you should be fine, I think.
Okay. Fuck. And I think that like hits Vic like, fuck, I can't ask if Dell's meal is it's free already. Like, is this where Dell dies? Okay, second thing. Do you have like a brother?
No. I had 2 sisters. Why would I have a brother?
I'm gonna say this as culturally competently as possible. I don't know anything about aliens, so
Well, you know what? We should all take a seat because I wanted to formally apologize to each of you. But please, I have your favorite drinks.
I mean,
Well, they knew your favorite drinks already, and you see whatever your most favorite delicious drink in the world is already sat at the table for you all.
Strawberry smoothie.
chocolate smoothie.
Pink lemonade.
I'm thinking. I'm like, what do? Hold on.
It's like an ever-changing. It's an ever-changing liquid.
Hold on.
Is it milk? Is it milk?
Water.
Is Misfit one of those
Just
milk
plain
drinkers?
water.
Ew, no. I think it is. I'm just gonna go with black coffee. That's the answer that keeps coming back to me. I wanted to pick something else, but it was the
So,
thing that just kept coming to me. I'm sorry.
You don't know. Well, for the most part, each of you know what your drink is, but you notice somebody here is fucking crazy because their favorite is black coffee. But with that, you see that you all sit down in your spots as you kind of get in your seats. You see each whose drink is whose. You see Naomi scoot over. You see they just have some water. Apparently, you can see there was an empty glass, what looks like to be some sort of alcohol that they drunk already. First and foremost, I would like to apologize to each and every one of you. I have been what the kids call an ass. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. To you, and I have not been radical, I think is the term. But for the most part, I have not been with it. And I am sorry for that. I assumed that I could just enter back into your lives with no problems whatsoever, and that is not how human, mortal, whatever you want to call it, intelligence, emotional intelligence works. So I would like to formally apologize to each of you.
Is this really the best use of our time?
We're here to figure out where Tyr is.
Yes.
Vasco said that you might know.
Yes, Danny, as you know, she's almost done. You see they're setting up the plates in the back. Is a deity of death, and primarily they have the gift of foresight, which means they can kind of see multi-directional, whatnot. Hence why they can get feelings of death and is able to pick out when somebody might die. They owe me a favor from long ago, so after they give the meal, they'll just tell us where it is.
So we have to eat.
Oh, you don't have to eat. I mean, it's a little bit rude, but you don't have to eat. She's just cooking up because she said you're gonna need the strength.
I don't think I like it here, but okay.
It's a wonderful diner, cooks all your favorite food. You just have to watch out in case you come here by accident one day. Well, not accident, maybe fate, depending on who you are. And then, you find out you're gonna die soon. Yeah.
Eden glances kind of pointedly over to Dell and then looks at Vic.
Vic looks back at you. So you don't have, and then looks at Naomi. So you don't have a trans brother.
No, I don't have a brother. No trans brother. Or
You,
any other brother.
do you know anyone else on this planet that's like you?
No. Everybody who's like me is dead. Or directly like me. It's a couple of, but anybody that is 100% like me is dead.
What about half like you, or a quarter?
Well, there's
Or an
Miss Foot. There's all the children of Iblis, except for Arwar, because Arwar was a second wife. So they're not technically related to me through blood. But beyond that, yeah, no, just Miss Foot and all them.
Did
You hear Miss Foot? It's almost like very subtle, but it's like a lie, but almost like on the fritz. They're not telling the whole truth about that.
Misfit leans in towards Naomi from across the table, putting his arms and elbows on the metal of this table. What are you hiding?
I hate that. I just want to let you know that. I particularly don't like that ability of yours.
What are you hiding?
If I say what I'm going to say, you must promise not to freak out.
Is the Dread King
your cousin?
Your son.
Possibly.
To which one? Cousin or son?
Son. I have no cousins. Except for, you're not cousin. It doesn't matter. No. It's the son.
How many times are you going to keep lying to us and expecting us to accept your bullshit apologies?
Well, it's not a bullshit apology, that's first. Second,
No, it is a bullshit apology, Naomi, and I'm getting fucking tired of it.
Look, I don't know if it is him. I believed my son to be dead for almost 3 3 decades now?
Do you even know what you're apologizing for?
Yes, I am apologizing for behavior that is unbecoming of me. If that is what I've read in the dictionary.
What
For
behavior?
example, yeah.
Well, you see she pulls out a paper. Oh, well, I can see what the problem. Lying was one of them. Keeping secrets. I should have read this before I talked. Keeping away. Yeah, lying in secret seems to be what I've wrote down. There's a bunch of other ones, but they don't relate to you. So, I mean, oh, thank God, the food. You see this waitress comes in. You see what looks like to be a woman, almost mid-30s, hair red, tied up. You see they have an apron on that's messy. Stunning figure, not gaunt but skinny-ish. As you see, they have brown skin, beautiful green eyes. As you see, they place your favorite meals in front of you. As you see, hello, meet my friend Danny Ramos. You see, she speaks with almost like a very wispy voice of hello, hi, can I help? We haven't, well, we did meet when you were children, but it's been quite some time since you've been in my domain.
Do we have memory of meeting Danny when we were children?
Slightly, but you were here for the food, so that's really what you remember, but you did come here to eat. How can I help you all?
We're looking for the site of the
Tyr.
new. Yes.
My brother.
Yes. Before I give this to you, what do you intend to do?
With Tyr.
Yes. And possibly your brothers and sisters and your father? And a whole bunch of other people that are in danger.
Well, I don't know about the rest of it, but I'm gonna stop Tyr. Take back what's rightfully mine. Whatever it takes.
And you're going to do this by killing him.
Whatever it takes.
But why?
This is my role to fill. As harbinger of the apocalypse, I get to decide when, if that happens, what kind of world comes next. Not Tyr. Tyr would just destroy everything.
But it wasn't your responsibility to begin with. Why would you want it now? It's such a burden and related to such trauma that I've experienced a few times and seems to be very commonplace among you four in particular. Why would you want to cause more death? We've already lost the possibility of parents and friends and lovers and brothers.
If I have the role, I can decide what that looks like. I can shape Apocalypse to be in my image, not the image that my father has of it. Apocalypse does not need to be death. Tyr doesn't see that.
That is true. But what if, well, again, so many possibilities. What if destiny doesn't want you to cause the apocalypse? What if destiny tries to stop you with one of these three? Are you going to kill them too?
No.
Well, it's easy to say in the moment, but when it comes down to it, is the devil of lies going to keep this truth?
I love them. And I couldn't kill them. Maybe Apocalypse isn't hellfire and an ice age and any other natural disaster that we can think of. Maybe Apocalypse is metaphorical. Maybe it's creation. Maybe it's freedom.
You see they smile. I'm very glad that this is the variation we're going down. You see she takes out a receipt, puts it slowly in the middle of the table. Naomi, please remember to pay on your way out. And proceeds to walk towards Dell.
Vic,
Eden.
oh yeah, go ahead. Oh, no, Vic had eaten their food first, like immediately, almost as if it was maybe going to be the last potential meal they would have had. It's a hamburger and it's a hamburger and pancakes. Two
Weird
very
combination, but it works.
Yeah, no, it works. And as soon as like she puts that down, Vic's like, oh thank God. And then like immediately like whips her head around almost as if it like snaps her neck to stare at Dell's in like this desperate, hopeful look.
And what is Eden doing as you see Vic go and just like whips their head in like a heart attack moment?
As soon as Misfit had kind of started speaking, Eden hasn't touched their food. And I imagine they're sitting next to each other in this booth. And Eden is staring at Misfit. Like from the side, from right next to them, like staring into their face with an expression that I don't think they've ever worn before. And something about their eyes are wavering.
I will let you resolve the Dell thing first before I interject.
Fuck you. I actually think that Vic for a moment turns around and whips their head around, and then I think Vic's body starts moving before like he notices. And standing in front of Dell, probably inadvertently using their speed, Vic is just kind of like stiff and tight. Gets there before Danny gets there.
You
I'm
could-
sorry.
I'll come back. Sorry. He proceeds to almost, you see, you thought they were walking. It's more like they're floating ethereal-like on the ground as you see they go around the kitchen and just begin to clean up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You see, what the hell? What are you doing here?
What? Well, I'm getting food before the potential apocalypse. And then I saw you and I figured I should say sorry.
For what? You don't usually apologize for anything.
Really making it hard.
You
I'm
gotta work
sorry
for it if
for
you're gonna
almost
apologize.
getting you killed. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for sometimes being a dick. Even though, nope, not gonna say that. I'm sorry for sometimes being a dick.
You see she's stunned as she's eating also a burger, what looks like to be a double cheeseburger with bacon and a strawberry milkshake. I guess if we're apologizing, I'm sorry too. For breaking up and probably the most messy way I could think of, and then proceeding to have one of the most toxic work relationships I think I've ever had after dating somebody. Um, that was on me as well, so I apologize
Well, I
as well
don't
for that.
apologize for that. No, yeah, yeah. We shouldn't have been together.
I mean, it was an experience. I mean, I hope you've become a better person. I know I have.
It's just I know you were always afraid of me. I could
I was
taste
never
it.
afraid of you. Don't say that.
Del,
I was worried for you. I wasn't afraid. You kidding me? I've dated you. There's nothing to be afraid of when I'm dating you. Everything else I have to be afraid of, not you. You were the one person I knew I could be with. But,
and what what was I tasting all that time then, Del? Was it shame? That you were dating a monster?
Vic, not even vicious. You have taught me that being a monster, being someone from that realm of non-normalcy, isn't something to be afraid of. I do still believe that there needs to be order from time to time, because we tend to get a little bit crazy, and a lot of people get murdered. But for the most part, if anything you taught me to be more self-accepting of who I am as a person. And there's nothing else greater than I can think of as a parting gift between the two of us. As much as you don't believe it, you're a very good person.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks.
You see Danny kind of, hello. uh, if you want to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
up, yeah, I just kind of a personal thing.
yeah. Uh, have a good night.
I'm
See you
too
later.
vicious. Don't die. Please don't die. I don't think I can deal with another partner again if you ever do come back to work with the curators. Or at least we can meet up for coffee or brunch or something like that.
Sure. Also, I'm kind of like, you should get a new job.
I'm looking for options. It's kind of hard with the resume I have because it looks like I did nothing for years. Oh, in actuality,
Oh,
I've done a
yeah,
lot.
because this whole secret thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
so
should
it's like you've been
lie.
a janitor for 10 years, and it's not like I can't really do anything with that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know how to lie on resumes. I mean, Heaven helped me a few times.
And she goes, maybe Misfit can help me.
You could, yeah, no, maybe, yeah, yeah. Uh, see you later. See,
See you later.
and Vic lets her walk away.
And Danny has the conversation with Belle. I will keep that a secret unless anybody is being nosy.
I was gonna say, oh no, we're in a
I wanna
conversation.
I want to be nosy so bad, but Eden absolutely is way too focused on this bit.
Distracted. All right.
I'll do it for everyone. It's heaven.
Heaven, roll me a sharp, please.
Oh boy, what's my sharp light? I should have been ready. Oh boy, where's my sheet? Okay, this is Spencer's scale. I have 0 sharp. I want to spend a luck point, actually.
Oh, all right. You spend a luck point. You have to stop time for a second. You see, boom, 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 boom. You get up ever so slightly. You see there's a conversation between the two of them, and you can see the bills passed forward. There's a look of concern, and then you see them get out their wallet and put $5 down, and proceeds to walk out as you go back.
Okay, cool. Cool.
With that, Eden and Misfoot, you were having a conversation.
Misfit wasn't looking at Eden during that whole time. I think he was very kind of like tunnel visioned onto Danny during that. But after Danny walks away, having left the check with Naomi, Misfit kind of like settles back into their body, and they get that feeling like somebody is staring at them. And they turn to find Eden very intensely looking at him, and he kind of quirks an eyebrow, cocks his head. What?
Thanks for dinner. And Eden kind of stands up, bumps the bottom of the table, grabs Misfit's hand, and like drags them out of the booth.
Oh, thanks for dinner.
You see Naomi, should I get a box? You didn't eat all your burgers and fries. Or
Eden
whatever
is out. Eden's out the door.
You see, I gotta get a box before you two get out.
Hey, what's the rush?
And Eden like pulls them both under these like neon lights and stands with their back to you for like half a heartbeat. And you see like their shoulders tense and raise. And then they turn around and their mouth starts moving, and it doesn't really stop as words start like water falling out of their mouth. Listen, I'm sorry that I went down there, okay? I didn't. I went because I was worried about you, Misfit. I spent 7 fucking years in the Vatican reading every single shitty piece of old fucking literature down there. And do you know how many pieces of shitty old literature, fucking bullshit tombs that they have in the Vatican trying to find anything about the word apocalypse? Do you know what I found down there? A disorganized, contradictory, unpredictable mess of conflicting prophecies. Okay, bullshit. No 2 fucking passages were the same. There was no cohesion. But do you want to know the one thing that stayed consistent in all of it? The Harbinger would die. Magic always demands equivalent exchange. If you end the world, it ends you too. And I read so many books trying to see if I could stop it. I know how badly you wanted it, and I didn't want to take more from you that I had already taken. And I thought that maybe there was a way that I could have it all. I thought the answer was heaven. I thought that she wouldn't let you get that far, or that Vic, the monster in Vic, would fight back, but it just kept going. The signs kept coming, and the answers weren't coming. Nothing was changing. And I wanted to see how much your father knew, to see if I could do something good for once in my life, to save the only good thing that my magic has ever brought me. For you. Because I can't stop. Even if you hate me, even if you have always hated me, even if you couldn't find a moment to pass my name to your father, even if you couldn't, even if I couldn't, I keep loving you. And I don't know how, but I do. And I didn't I didn't want you to leave me. And I didn't want to lose you.
Misfit cuts Eden off mid-sentence, rushes up to them and kisses them. And it is a long, long kiss, I think. And finally, when Misfit kind of pulls back the burning still on his tongue from the tattoos that are on Eden's own tongue that burn his skin, it's this euphoric feeling as he pulls back. I don't hate you. I never hated you. I just said that because I thought you didn't love me all this time. I thought you were just playing with me because it was fun, because, I mean, I let you. I thought that you were just... I thought it was just a game to you, something that didn't matter. I don't hate you. And the reason that I didn't say your name to my father, well, is because, well, you've met him. He wouldn't have approved. He wouldn't have been okay with that. Just another distraction from... I'm sorry, did you say death?
And just for your knowledge, when Eden speaks, the kind of form of the fractured glass in your senses, this true light, 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 that bleeds into itself like a razor until the fragments kind of splinter and fall apart, and the words truth and lie start to like remake themselves like a sun rising above like an empty horizon, like new words form from those. And it's not true lie, true lie, true lie. It's I love you, I love you, I love you, like a heartbeat every time Eden speaks. And they furrow their brow. I don't do things halfway, Misfit, you know that.
And Misfit, I think, pulls Eden in tightly, close, letting the tattoos on Eden burn his arms, burning his exposed skin. Why didn't you just let me help you?
I took so much from you. How could I ask you for more?
Not on purpose, right?
I never do anything on... No. It's never on purpose. And Eden looks rather distraught.
And Misfit, I think, takes a hand and runs it along Eden's cheek softly and pulls Eden's face to look at his own, making sure that the two are making eye contact, and you can see the blood red sclera as the single slit down his eye. And there is a softness there that I don't think that Eden has ever allowed Misfit to show them before. You have always claimed that you have taken things from me, but I feel like you have given me so much. You gave me, at least at the time, I thought a facsimile of a love that I wanted, but now I know that it's real. And I, if you'll take it, want to give you something.
Couldn't see my unmute button in front of my cat. Eden blinks, the dull gold of their eyes kind of glimmering under these neon lights. I don't ever want to take anything from you that's not freely given.
I promise this one is, if you'll take it.
Okay.
And Misfit will step back and will, I think, turn Eden around so that Eden is silhouetted underneath these neon lights completely. They're going to step back and they will say, I love you, Eden. And I want you to be able to love as well. And with that, I am going to use big magic in an attempt to give Eden half of my heart.
I'm not gonna make you roll for this because you all forget. On top of this, it's raining outside. There's nothing more I can do this. How do you give them half your heart?
It's the memory of being summoned. Misfit taps back into that memory of being summoned, of the way that it felt to feel Eden's magic for the first time coursing through his body, that live wire underneath the tongue. And he taps back into that feeling, into the image of seeing Eden for the first time and knowing instantly that this was it. This was where they needed to be. And through that, I think, if it's okay with you flavor-wise, GM, I think it's a combination of tapping into Eden's own magic in this moment right now and combining it with his own magic. This live wire being, I think, singed through, starting on one end, starting at Misfit's own heart, connecting the two of them until eventually that spark reaches Eden's chest. And I think you feel at first this, like, if you've ever felt like a spark jump off of something onto your skin, you feel that kind of burning, stinging sensation at first. And then it starts to get hotter and hotter and hotter, but not uncomfortably so. Almost like sunbathing on a nice day. And eventually, actually, you can describe for me. What does it feel like when Eden gets half of a heart again?
Eden.
As you start,
Well, from just a basic feeling, it's almost like someone almost like unclogged your ears. The world was mute for you for a very long time, and as you feel that beating in your chest, it's almost like you hear everything clearer. You smell everything like it's normal. You feel the water trickle down on your fingers. You feel alive. And you can describe from your own point of view how you feel about that.
I think there's a little gasp as Eden realizes what Misfit is doing. And they almost like reach out instinctively as Misfit almost asks for their magic to go. And it goes for the first time. And from like those extended fingertips, all of the archaic, chaotic writing that's all over Eden's skin, this angelic script, these images of angels, wings, eyes, all start to turn gold and iridescent on his skin, kind of traveling up as Misfit's magic almost like lights them on fire and burns a little bit as it goes up and up and up and turns all of them gold. And Eden braces backward, like they can actually feel something hitting them in the chest, and their hands instinctively go up and their eyes like flutter shut for a moment, and the next time that they open them, their eyes are brimming with tears, and their eyes are much brighter. The gold in them is radiant this time, and they blink a little bit, and the tears kind of just start falling from their face. And they reach up. Why is your heart such a crybaby?
And Misfit laughs, a genuine laugh at it working. And they run up and they give Eden the biggest, tightest, warmest hug that they can. I love you.
I love you too. Eden whispers quietly into Misfit's shoulder as they like weep. I think they just start crying, and it's somewhere deeply sad and it's somewhere deeply happy too, as both feelings kind of wash over them. I really want a dog.
We can get one. After all of this is over, we can get one. But
Okay,
you have
but
to promise me. You have to promise me it can't be
can't
one of those
die.
shitty little ones.
Oh, that was a different kind of promise I thought we were making. Okay,
Sorry.
fine.
Sorry.
No, a big dog. We could get a big dog. I mean, you have a dragon, so maybe we don't need a dog or whatever, but...
No, we could get a dog. And
Okay.
I won't die. And neither will you. Neither will Vic or Heaven.
Okay. I
And-
trust you, Double O Lies.
And I trust you, Angel of Death. And I
In
think...
this... Oh, no, continue.
I think for a little while, because of how overwhelming it is to experience a rush of emotions for the first time in literally years, possibly a decade, I think Misfit understanding how overwhelming that must be just kind of holds Eden in that embrace and like lets him just kind of like cry and get it all out before the two of them maybe eventually move back into the diner.
With that most tender of moments, as you are dripping wet, because you were out there for a long time, but that doesn't matter. You see what looks like to be a stretched limo pull around. And Naomi goes, well, that, I believe, is your ride. It looks like the coronation is happening at City Hall.
Sorry, is Naomi inside or outside?
Inside. You guys come in, they didn't really, half and half. They gave you your space. But they kind of point out, stop it, brother. I will leave the decision up to you, which you wish to do. I have my own feelings on that, but it is not my decision to pick and choose. So I wish you luck.
Eden, about your research, did you ever learn what happens if the Herald of the Apocalypse dies with the weapon? What happens to the weapon?
Unclear. All of it was very unclear.
Right.
You see, Naomi, I'm going to go head back with Vasco. I'm going to make sure that he is not attacked by a bear this time, because there is a report of a brown bear terrorizing the woods, and with his luck, I would not
Naomi,
go that far off to... Yes?
stop playing God. And leave us alone.
Yep. I'm just gonna go. You all are wonderful. I think what you have is very special. And I'll meet you back at the observatory. And you see they proceed to just run out the door.
You're never gonna stop
And Eden-
bullying her.
Eden shakes their head no, and sopping wet, like soaked to the bone, literal drowned rat energy, slides into the booth next to Heaven and like wraps their arms around him.
Haven't you muted? Uncomfortable.
Fantastic. I get to do it
Yeah.
again. You are so cold. I
I feel kind of warm, actually. It's weird. Their voice is like wobbly in a weird way.
yeah, that they clock that instantly. It's are you and dry hands, wet face. Are you okay? Are you What?
They're like kind of shiny. They're all shiny now.
And they kind of like look around the rest of the diner trying to figure out what the like
Misfit,
math equations across the face.
Misfit leans into both Vic and Heaven. Eden's got a heart now.
I think Vic has been tasting something. I think Vic has been leaning on Heaven. And for like the last minute and a half, Vic has been like, what the fuck? That's what it is.
So you just didn't tell me. You just let me be confused in this. I'm not gonna cry.
You hear outside.
Okay, let's go stop the apocalypse, I think. Is that what we're doing? I don't actually understand anything that we're doing.
I think so. I don't really know whether or not I'm gonna take that from my brother or not. We're gonna figure that out when we get there. Misfit gets up, I think, and uncharacteristically, I think, like, stands kind of awkwardly at the end of the end of the table, the diner table. Okay, can we just do the group hug thing really quickly before we go, and then?
Oh, what? Ew, what? Oh, sure, but that's not what I expected you to say.
Stop!
Vic, it has
Just
literally
do it
been
before
such
I-
a long day. Please.
Do it before I change my mind.
Yeah, of course. I was like reaching for it with all three of them in arms, just like Oreo them together. Everybody, it's
And-
fantastic.
I think Vic comes in last and specifically trying to reconcile what they didn't get before. Is gonna like drain a little bit of Eden's energy. Not enough to
It
hurt.
tastes like sunlight this time. Not to be like literally so fucking gay on twitch.tv/VO Cologne, but it tastes like sunlight.
Vic is stunned. I think like everyone exits the hug and Vic is like,
Vic, I felt that.
Just
Vic
let you
just
know.
leaves. Vic
before-
leaves.
midway through your hug, you do see Danny takes a picture, puts it on their wall. As you see, they have pictures of many moments of many people that come and go through here. And as you guys proceed to the car, you see the door open up as you see a face you have not seen in quite a while, as you see Priscilla. You met Priscilla a long time ago as they helped you out with a certain situation. As you see the door open, her in a very lovely suit, you see that they give a smile. Hello. I heard you are trying to get somewhere, so decided to help. And again, kickstarting your mind here, you remember Priscilla was from when JD, particularly you saved them, you saved Rocco from them as they were going to murder Rocco to take over their territory, but for the most part, they're neutral. You see they give a little bit of a bow to you, Ms. Foot, going, I would call you Harold, but you're not Harold anymore, but we're still friends.
Yeah, that it's fine. We don't need to get into all of the nitty gritty of that. Any help that you can offer, Priscilla darling, would be lovely.
I can get you in, but the rest is going to be up to you. Just let you know there's demons up the wazoo, so.
Don't worry. I got a bunch of monsters with me.
Oh, grand. Good thing I'm not going to this one. And you proceed to all get in the car?
And like an angel and a half.
Fantastic. As you all drive through the rain, as you see, the storms are only getting worse. Purple is becoming almost ever so present in the sky. As you do see the conversion point being City Hall, what looks like to be just your almost an old-ish Cuban building architecture, about like 1800s, almost like the Capitol and whatnot. As you see that currently right now, it seems to be open, lightning everywhere. You see Priscilla go, you should be able to find your way through. Just go through the doors and to the left, and you'll find a rally of demons. Good luck. You're going to need it. Oh, and you owe me twice.
I will pay my debt to you, Priscilla. Don't worry.
I'm
Just
excited.
after we deal with Tyr. All right, is there anything that anybody needs to do before we go in? Bathroom?
Not in my car. And you just see just pushing you all out.
No. Follow your lead.
Okay. Okay. Then let's go. And I think Misfit takes he takes a look at City Hall, at this building, and he takes a deep breath. And I think in his mind's eye, he is envisioning the house, the castle, the estate of his home in hell as they are walking through into the entrance to City Hall. It's in his mind, it's as if they are crossing the threshold to hell here, and he is here to take back what he is owed. And they walk in, I think, with a flourish. There is no point in Misfit's head in trying to be sneaky about any of this. And so I think they literally like walk in, like pushing the door open as much as possible, as loudly and as hard as possible, walking in and interrupting whatever coronation ceremony is going on here right now.
Fantastic. And as the rest of you pull in, we see in one of the nearby buildings someone's just setting up a nice little sniper's nest. As you see, they just get a cup of joe and wait. You go
Where?
in.
Oh, sorry,
no,
go.
Continue. No, continue. What are you gonna ask?
I was just gonna ask where Tyr is.
You almost like going in, you see the door itself would just let you into a normal place, but since it's been taken over by demons, you could already see that there are seals invisible on the door that are just a direct transport. And with that, you are teleported deep inside, you can only assume is City Hall. You see, it is almost like this ancient cavern. You see light brimming from the middle, going up when this sort of purple crackly energy, as you see your brother Tyr dressed up very similarly to you, almost like an exact copy, really. As you see demons all around, in a sense of almost like a coliseum going down, 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 down. You see he is about to give a rousing speech to the troops, but the thing that also concerns you is that you see your other siblings here. All of them. You see Awar, you see Xanabar, and you also see Dasim, who you have not seen or talked with in quite a while. Which means that it's really happening, because you have never all been together in one place in quite a long time. You see, the demons haven't noticed you yet, and they just assume more people are coming in, and you just hear your brother giving a very grand speech of, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for coming out to my grab bash, if you would. I am ascending us to another plane, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to make this a great time, everybody. Make sure you got your buddy. Make sure you got snacks. There's going to be a lot of soul taking, so take souls responsibly. But beyond that, I am very grateful for that, and that of my siblings. As you know, Misfoot betrayed us. Let's be honest with each other. I love them like a brother, because they are a brother, but for the most part, they've been with that humans. You know how they are. They tend to wiggle in the mind. Yes. If you open with a shotgun, I swear to God.
Not to be predictable, but I would like to shoot him.
Oh my god,
I would
not
like-
the toot shotgun. Oh my god.
Can I help by kicking ass and sending them towards Eden's shotgun?
You're pretty far at the moment. Because it's not like you're there. You're just got in. So,
But
I
I'm
mean,
not-
the shotgun, yeah, can
But I
come,
have to fend fast. I'm so
Oh.
quick. I'm so speedy.
We have ladders for this
That's
reach, actually, Chris.
Okay, all right. You know what? Give me help. Oh, is it specifically for you, Vic? Give a help out. And then depending on what you get, we'll see how much.
I don't
help
actually know
or
how to help
not
anyone ever.
I believe in you.
Plus cool.
Oh, thank God I have that.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, nice. 11.
11. So you get a +1 to whatever you roll, Eden.
I'm gonna use my luck to make that a 13 total.
Okay. Just didn't need it. I say you can keep it.
No,
'cause
I
you gotta-
appreciate the help.
Yeah, you can keep
Because
it. So you have
it's just a little
+1.
extra.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I have a +1 for. Okay.
yeah,
thank
you can use it on your next one because if you're gonna use luck, but you can keep it because they already rolled. So what are you doing, Eden, to just completely destroy this speech?
I don't even know if it hits tier necessarily. But like I think Misfit in the periphery would just see the like muzzle of it come down over their shoulder, and then it's just bam. And they shatter like whatever nice marble statue is like right behind Tyr.
You do see he has that very authoritarian of like, I want to rule this place. Has a very nice statue that you just you just give him. Ah! Oh well, goddamn well. You couldn't just shoot me instead. You had to shoot the statue. You know how long that took.
Better idea since, well, I mean, unless you want to keep the +1, could I use my roll to just kick some ass?
I'm gonna say no because you're
That's
helping
fine.
in this sense. So,
Eden
brother.
kind of snorts and goes, "Don't worry, you're next."
And I think at that, Misfit starts to clap, really like slow clap, dramatic, condescending as fuck, as they start to walk down the aisle of this room, going up towards Tyr. And as they walk, with every step that they take, Misfit starts to transform. Up until now, everybody has only ever seen Misfit in his quote-unquote human form. I mean, he's still got all of the fucked up horns, the eyes, everything. But I think as they walk, it starts from, I think, the top of his head. And you see as these shadows start to creep down on the top of his head, and these eyes start to pop up one after the other along his face, like almost like a crown of eyes along his face, and his hair starts to catch fire until it is this bright pink, like almost blinding light of a fire that starts to burn, whipping around behind him, and his features on his face start to disappear as his skin starts to darken, the mouth completely disappearing into void as these second set of arms come out of his chest. And he actually almost looks like he has like two sets of like chests where like one set of shoulders and a second set of shoulders. It's a very, very uncanny valley. And as he walks, his fingers like elongate, the nails starting to stretch and thin until they are sharp to a point. And all around his skin is lava cracks around him that like glow and pulsate, that are like reminiscent of the way that Vic's monstrous form kind of looks. And the last sort of thing that happens as he walks is his legs, they turn into this sort of weird amalgamation of like goat feet, but mixed in with shadow that kind of like shift and shimmer. And they don't quite look corporeal as well as they're walking. And Misfit, without any mouth, any sort of visage really for this sound to come from, he says, looking up at Tyr on this stage that he has built for himself, says, "I'm afraid that this is where your coronation ends. Get down from there, or we will make you."
You're gonna. Oh, you know, I was hoping you didn't come because I didn't want to wipe the floor with you. But if you wanna, I'm just to reiterate, are you attacking a member of the household?
You're no longer my brother. I think you made that pretty clear.
Ooh,
And with
but
that, I
am.
think Misfit like goes and it's like Misfit like melds into the ground, into the shadow as they move up and they come up behind Tyr and they like kick him off of the stage.
You kick him off the stage, but as you do, you see almost sand wrap around you as well. As he goes, we need a little bit of privacy, and see the two of them as you're teleported somewhere up on the roof. You see the other demons begin to disappear, except for the children of Iblis that look at the three of them and the three of you. As you see Xanabar go, they're having a little bit of a conversation, so if you'd be so kind and not interrupt them.
Give me a lift, Vic.
Easy. And like vault.
Fantastic. Kick some ass again for me, please. And which of the children are we aiming at?
Oh boy. Oh gee. Let me hit that sheet real quick.
What about you, Eden? Which one are you aiming at here for when you're going up?
Can I shoot and get thrown at the same? Yeah, fuck
You
yeah, I
got a
can.
+1,
Sure.
so yeah. So this is
Damn
the
right I
+1
can.
here.
I'll go with Our because
Yeah,
total
she's
asshole for
looking
gossiping.
at you with intent of, I'm gonna kill you this time. This time, you're not taking away anything from me.
Okay, I will roll as
Fantastic. Heaven, did you say you're diving in as well, Heaven?
Of course.
Rose kick some ass, and then Vic, you're helping, so that's what you're doing.
Okay.
I'll get to you in a hot second, Misfit.
No, it's all good. I'm ready to watch this go down. Ah!
So I did roll Snake Eyes.
Oh no.
I
Fantastic.
did roll a 3 total with that +1 from before.
You, first, I'll do you and then I get to Heaven. So with that, you aim down, and you see her form, as you see they change into the form of one of your parents. Eden, what are you doing? As you are stunned at the moment, as you see, gotcha! And you see she pulls out a whip of chain and hits you for 3 harm as you get whipped in the chest, falling into one of the seats in the back. What about you, Heaven?
Okay, so who was that?
That was our
Oh,
walk.
water.
Okay, we're gonna round on that. Again, Heaven is not used to not having Kel on his back, so it's a reach, and like in this arcing pose, there's a well of light in their chest, and they just instinctively from that curve pull inward and out for their new flaming sword. 3 harm, baby, and I rolled an 8.
An 8.
Just a math real quick.
Fantastic. So with that, you go in, you're aiming for our water as well?
Mhm.
With that, you hit her as she gets pushed back. You see that as you do that, you see Xanabar come in and stab you instinctively as you get stabbed with something in the side. And looking upon him, you see he pulls out what looks like to be a mask as he's about to do something to you with it. With that, we go upstairs. It's raining. You see it's a flat roof, almost like very like White House-esque, kind of flat but curved on the sides, big enough for the two of you, as it's circular in nature. As you are on the ground, still in your demon form, and you see along the edges and the parameters of the roof, you see fire circle the both of you, as you see your brother in the rain, very feeling himself, going, now is this of you or what? Oh, Miss Wood, why did you have to come and fuck it up? I am still close, but brother, the last thing I want to do is hurt you.
Well, that's a shame. That's the first thing I want to do to you.
Fine, you want war? I'll give you war. And you see his form begins to form as well, as you see sand of multicolors begin to form the exact same shape of you, but completely out of sand, as he charges in your direction. For this instance here, we're going to be doing contested rolls. So choose either tough or weird, and he will roll the same. He gets whatever modifier you have as well, as he's copying your same exact physique.
All right, fine. Tough +2.
All right.
I got a 12.
So with that, he's charging towards you. What do you do?
Misfit, I think, is used to Tyr's copycat routine. I like to think that the children of Iblis have like fought and sparred as like kids and growing up and whatnot. And so I think Misfit at this point, especially given everything, especially given the outfit, I think the outfit really annoyed Misfit. The fact that Tyr bothered to dress exactly like them, to take what was theirs, that really dug into them. So I think they were anticipating this, and when he starts to see this sand form start to create itself in front of him, you said that it's raining. Does the rain have any particular interactions with the fact that he's sand, or?
Ever so slightly, but not enough, because again, he's magic. But for the moment, I mean, it is water. But again, he's moving so fast. Also, you have humidifiers, which is the sides of the roofs are on fire, so it kind of dries out at the moment. So there's only the water on the ground at the moment.
I think Misfit, seeing the sand starting to form, I like to imagine that the sand is forming in sort of like pieces, and the last piece that forms is the tattoo on Tyr's chest. And so Misfit goes straight for the tattoo, claws out, and like digs into Tyr's chest, trying to like push like off of this roof, going as far back as like this momentum will allow me to carry, and pushing Tyr as far as I can, using sort of digging the claws into Tyr's chest at the tattoo as sort of like momentum, as sort of a stranglehold into him.
With that, as you push him back, you never cared about Mom. Why do you think I'm doing this, huh? Out of the kindness of my own heart.
You think this is what Mom would have wanted?
You don't know what Mom would have wanted.
I do.
And as that fight. Oh, continue.
No, you can pan.
Pan back down. With that, Vic, since you get to go first here, what do you want to do? Everybody can decide, but with that, Vic, what do you want to go first?
Yeah, Vic notices that like Eden kind of gets folded like a pancake, and for a moment it's like, oh my god, I should have just attacked. Okay. And didn't we Zalimbor's the one we like, right?
Yes.
That's the eldest, yes.
That's the eldest.
That's the one whose number you have.
I know. So I think, hilariously enough, I think Vic is going to kind of point to Zalimbor and say, I've got your number. And it's going to use is anyone next to Zalimbor?
Heaven.
I thought Heaven was fighting Awad.
He came in, so
Woof. Oh well. Then I'm gonna do the I'm gonna do the internal burn then. If Heaven wasn't there, I would have done the external one and gotten everyone in there.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I think this time Vic is gonna remember the taste of the sunlight that Eden did, and is going to like use magic to do 3 internal harm as long as I roll well. Okay.
As long as I roll well.
Okay, I got a 9.
9. Fantastic. With that, you kind of burns. You see he begins to slightly burn. Not too effective, because again, they are demons, but you do see it does burn a bit as he goes, look, I don't want to fight. We're kind of compelled here.
What do you mean by compelled?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sister, you see next to you, you see a sibling you haven't seen before, as you see Dasim. As you see they're silent, almost like 5'2", light armor kind of waving. And you can see that they don't particularly speak, but you can see they do sign and say sorry. And you see they immediately grow to about 9, maybe 10 feet tall, and immediately with a huge fist punch you out the way as you take 2 harm.
Vic just cool, great, wonderful.
You see again, sorry, as a giant now is proceeding to beat you. With that, Eden next.
Eden just got thrown to the ground by a chain whip, I believe, is where we left them. And they're going to grab onto this chain whip. And I would like to use my transmutation rote to turn it into a snake that will then the chain will turn to snake ideally, and then bite is what Eden's gonna try to do.
Fantastic.
A chomp.
Please roll the chomp chomps.
I will roll for chomp chomp. Haha, that is much better. 10 total.
10 total. With that, complete success as you sort of you see the snake and you see the snake begins to sort of almost wrap around, begins to bite them as they sort of get on the side there. Go, brother, if you would be so kind and to take care of who you're fighting so you can help me. Heaven, what are you doing?
So he did hear Zal like apologize, like this is against their general
It seems like
will,
it's
right?
like, hey, this is my job. Sorry, I gotta do this.
Okay. Honestly, I'm sorry too. And like they flick them on the nose, and I would like to use cast out evil.
Now, in this sense here, what does that
no.
do?
Again, roll tough, 10 plus. It is banished on 7 to 9.
Okay. So roll tough, please, because this would effectively
boy.
banish him. Because it's not, you can tell they have their full emotional cognition, so it's like they know what they're doing.
Mhm.
So you would just be banishing him. It's not anything inside that is inherently controlling him. And that's
Yeah, they're just
Yep.
essentially just flicking them
Yep.
somewhere else. That's a 12.
12. As you immediately touch him on the chest, you see light go, ah, crap, and you see off camera, you see that he goes in clouds. You see a bunch of angels kind of just turn. God damn it! And you see the consequences of that are going on as we go back upstairs. As the two of you are against each other. Roll again for me, Misfit.
Ah! I got a 9.
Got a 9. You succeed by 1. As
Let's
you
go.
gain the upper hand once again, as you see he pushes you off at this moment. You see he summons his sword at his side. What do you do?
Misfit doesn't need their sword in this form. And I think Misfit starts to laugh. This is oh, brother, you've always underestimated me. And I think Misfit will again sink into the shadows, and this time is going to come up right in front of Tyr. I think if Tyr has like in sort of traditional like sword fighting stance, has the sword out, is going to show up like in between his arms so that the sword is behind him and Tyr is in front of him. And with the 2 extra arms that Misfit has in this demon form, Misfit is going to grab the sword from behind, and then with his 2 regular arms is going to scratch at Tyr in an attempt to, like, quite literally, because he's made out of sand right now, take the tattoo, this weapon, this herald, this mark of the Herald of the Apocalypse, like quite literally rip it out of Tyr's chest.
With that push sword, and you rip off a chunk of the sand, and you can see that it's not necessarily him, but almost like an exoskeleton, as you see the sand protects the squishy part that is him. As you see, it rips off, it's slowly falling back, but you can only see half of his face with the sand. He spits on the side. You didn't see what I saw, what they did to Mom. You don't understand.
Did you even know what Mom wanted, what Mom was trying to build. I saw it.
You see what she built. You didn't see how she died.
Then tell me. If you know so much, tell me.
You see he throws out sand. Not in any of like pocket sand in that sense, but you see it forms what looks like to be almost loose memory. As you see what looks like to be your brother, Zanabar, of a younger age, as Tyr was only a child at this point. You see he's looking through the woods for his brother Tyr, as they got lost on the path. He finds them. But as he picks up, you can see Zariel, Naomi in the far back, and Tuli. As you see numerous angels and mortals dead around. And you see Azariel just absorbing the essence of Tuli, slowly killing them, as Naomi just watches crying. They don't seem restrained. They don't seem like there's a barrier of anything. They just seem like they're letting it happen. As it cuts off, you see these vile pieces of shit just killed her. Because they were afraid? Her own sister watched her die without helping. And you want to save these pieces of shit? You're the disappointment here as we cut downstairs. Back to you, Vic, as you're dealing with what looks like to be, again, a gigantic version as they're trying to step on you now, as you sort of, what are you doing?
But there is 2 left. There's one less person here. So I think Vic does like a callback to like the Mythic days and just kind of like yells out maneuver 76 at heaven, and jumps up and is going to like kick this giant person in the chest.
Roll kick some ass, or are you
Yes.
helping out to help set up?
I'm
Evan?
rolling to kick some ass.
Fantastic.
Oh man, that is a 15.
With that, you have your benefits you could choose from because you got more than 10.
Oh
so-
yeah. I want to. How many do I pick? One? Just one?
Yeah, you pick one.
That's fine. I want to. Fuck. Actually, I want to gain. Oh, I want to gain an advantage. So as I kick them forward, I want to give a +1 to heaven.
Fantastic. As you boom kick them WWE style, as you just jump, kick with your both legs. You see the before they slap you just over the head as you take 2 harm again, slapping over you the head. On the ground now, a little bit dazed. With that, Eden, what are you doing? As you see, it's just Awar and Dasim.
Well, did you know that Eden's temptation is vengeance, to utilize magic to inflict disproportionate retribution on someone who wronged you? That's so funny. As Awar is struggling with this snake, Eden kind of like drags himself up off the floor and walks over and kind of leans over, looks at her and goes, "Call yourself a sibling? You would throw Misfit under the bus that fucking fast for Tyr?
I'm not
You
throwing
disgust
anyone
me.
under the bus.
You disgust me."
Oh, shut up, human.
"You're mistaken. I'm not human. I'm the angel of death. And I'm gonna shoot her with my shotgun!"
Please do.
Excellent. I love this for me.
That's my boyfriend!
It's from the roof. Don't lift up my friend.
I got an 8 total.
8 total. With that, you shoot them as you see they're on the cusp of their form deteriorating back to hell. But as you do that, you see, oh, you see, you're the angel of death. you see they transform back again as they turn into Aries. Are you sure about that? As you see they backhand you for 3 harm.
I'm good.
Sorry,
good.
to be clear, did Uller just turn into your parent?
Descendant. And parent first, then descendant.
Descendant.
Okay, cool.
Is that real? Are they really or are they just fucking with me right now?
We don't know with that heaven.
Heaven just had like this really cool badass weapon reveal moment, but now having to go back to their actual training and they don't know like the weight of the sword. 76, 70, trying to recall. They are gonna, yeah. Okay. And like the monster is coming towards them. So I want to kick some ass. Thank goodness I have that +1. So that is math. A 7.
7. Who are we attacking?
I thought that like giant form was coming.
Got it.
Towards...
Just double checking. With that, you and you just like you think you know the right move, and as you do, you manage to just knock them out. But right before you do that, you go, yes! You activate a reflex as you see the hand just hits you as you take 3 harm by accident. With that, we cut back to upstairs. Misfoot, you just saw the revelation. You don't know as you see a half-formed Tyr panting, angry, in pain.
Even if that happened, it's not Heaven's fault. It's not Eden's fault.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault. You know, it's really fucking surprising that, a month ago you didn't give a shit and you were drinking your ass off, and now all of a sudden, you found true love? Is that what it is? The great devil of lies finally got some. Is that what it is?
And I think Misfit like kicks Tyr, like ideally kicking him down onto the ground. I have had, as you call it, true love this whole time. But I also have something that you don't know, Tyr. Would you like to know?
Oh, please enlighten me. I'm freaking trembling from the suspense.
You're gonna die. And not because I'm gonna kill you, but because you're the harbinger of the apocalypse. Did you know that that comes with the position? How does that make you feel? That Dad wants you dead?
You think I give a shit what Dad thinks? This isn't about Dad. Dad is the equivalent of a man who's been drunk for the past God knows how many years. This isn't about Dad. This isn't about everybody downstairs. This is about Mom, and this is about avenging her memory with the person you're sleeping with.
It wasn't Eden who did that to Mom.
I don't care. And you see, charges you again. Now, if you win this, because it's the best of 5, you win this straight up.
Please, dice don't fail me now. No! Out of 5.
He beats you by just 1. As you are still trying to take this in, you see he grabs you, football tackles, pushing you all the way back near the fire as you see it begins to burn your back as he's holding you there. Just, I am not going to kill you, but I'm going to hurt you so bad. Put you in a prison, and maybe after a century, you'll stop thinking about that stupid human. As we cut back downstairs. There's only one sibling left as you see they take off the snakes and go, I, in Azrael's form, I am done with all of you pitiful mortals. your disappointment to my line. Vic, what are you doing?
Oh man, Vic's gonna do what Vic does best and kick some ass. Please, Lord, don't fail. I might die if I fail. Oh God, almost dropped it. Okay. Oh wait, no, I'm good at that. I rolled a 7, but plus 3, 10.
How are you taking her out of the game here?
I
You
think
see, one has been exiled, the other one's knocked out, and then she is charging in this angelic form towards you.
towards me. I think the simplest way, she's charging towards like angry, so full of life, and I think Vic is calm, noticing just how angry the what is. Vic just like under her in a flash. Fuck you, leave my family alone, and uppercuts her.
As you just see 3 separate shots of a boof, 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 as you can just hear your mind KO. As you see, she falls down the steps unconscious. As this is dying downstairs, I'm going back to Miss Foot. Miss Foot, you're currently being held against the fire. What are you doing?
I would like to try something, but I have a feeling you're going to make me want to do the roll for it. So, do you want to do the roll
Please.
first? Okay.
What do you want to do? Or
Okay.
is it? Tell me what you want to do.
I can tell
and
you what
then-
I want. Misfit is grabbed by Tyr, right, in this moment. And I like to imagine that we are at the edge of the roof, right? Like Tyr has pushed Misfit all the way up to the edge of the roof. And so with that, Tyr sort of like braces their body and just with as much strength as they can muster, which is probably more than usual in their demon form, is going to pull back as much as they can, wrap their arms, all 4 of them, around Tyr's body into this like vice grip, and then jump off the roof.
Fantastic. Please roll both contested again. You are falling regardless of what happens.
No, I have an idea for that.
Oh, fantastic.
What happens when we tie?
Just a stalemate. So with that, you try to bring him down. What were you planning to do here with bringing him down?
So it's just to confirm, are we or are we not falling off the roof?
You're falling off the roof either way, but nothing is
Okay.
going to happen in battle-wise because you both tied.
So what actually happens then, since it's a stalemate, is we're falling off the roof, and Misfit calls out his wings, and they come out of his body. I think this like spectral echo of the wings that they normally have in their human form, and they try and teleport alone back to the top of the roof. But I think maybe nothing happens.
Falling, you try to teleport. He goes, no, you don't. And with that, as you do teleport, it's almost like you're fighting within it as he's like shoving his face, as you are separated against each side of the building.
Can we still be falling off the roof, actually?
Please, if you want to keep falling, it's not that far a roof, but you can still keep falling. So he's still punching you as you're falling, and he goes, you are so weak and pitiful. That's why I'm glad you dated the one person that I put a personal vendetta against, because I took this from you because, believe it or not, I still love you as a brother. And I knew you wouldn't have the strength to do what needed to be done.
Did you ever consider, and I think Misfit is just holding on to Tyr this whole time. Like, I don't think that Misfit is fighting back at this point. And Misfit is just saying, have you ever considered that this isn't what Mom would have wanted for you? Even though she was killed by Naomi, maybe by her sister, this isn't what she would have wanted. And I know that. And I think Misfit pulls out the necklace. Like, I think it had like melded into their body, into their demonic form. And when they say that, it like almost as if Misfit is like calling it forth, like beckoning it to come out. It like the prism kind of like comes out of his chest slowly and sort of like, I think is like hanging there, wrapped around his neck, floating in between the 2 of them.
And I think as it does, you land on the ground. You both slightly separated from each other. But before he gets back up, you can see that the hologram activates. As you see, before he charges in, he stops. Full everything. As you see Thule left on the last message, you keep playing back over and over, going, I will always miss you. And I love you. Now and forever. And you see he stops. On his knees in the rain, it coming over the sand, getting heavier and heavier. Misfit, you have free reign here of what you want to do, as he is stopped, breathing heavily. It is your choice here what you want to do with him.
We're gonna wait for CJ.
Broke the game.
CJ, come back, my darling. Okay. CJ? Oh my god.
I'm gonna beat you.
My brain, yeah. My brain is like thinking about CJ now. Okay. Misfit takes this moment, this beat, to really look into Tyr's face, I think, for the first time. Really take in the expression that they have. How is Tyr responding or reacting outwardly to seeing this hologram?
You see, especially you being siblings, in your mind automatically, you don't see him as this vile creature that has caused so much pain and suffering. In your mind, as it almost goes, the camera pans behind your body, you still see the same small little boy, your little brother that has always looked up to you, who's always wanted to be like his big brother. And you see, no matter what he's done, there is still part of that in him. As you see, he is openly weeping at the image.
Misfit gets down onto his knees and starts to crawl towards Tyr. And I think if this were like an anime or something, what you would see is a child version of Misfit starting to crawl towards Tyr. And we see a similar, I think, younger version of Tyr as well, as the two of them kind of look into each other. And Misfit starts to cry quietly as well. And they look at Tyr. You were alone too. I always felt alone. But Dad never took care of you either.
He was a shit father.
So let's take care of each other from now on.
Misfit, I've done a lot of bad stuff.
So have I. I've hurt a lot of people. Many of whom are inside of that building right now. But I still love them. And I want to fix the hurt that I've caused. And if you want that too, you can have it. We can have it.
Are you lying?
No. And I think Misfit sort of, because I imagine because we're siblings, there's probably some sort of like overlap in terms of our ability to, in terms of our domains and our powers. And especially with Tyr being the devil of the truth at this point. I think Tyr can tell. The same way that Misfit can always tell when people are lying, I think Tyr can tell that Misfit is telling the truth.
He looks at you, openly weeping. Misfit, you hear the sound of a sniper rifle going off. You look at his chest as you see Misfit. I don't feel so good. As you see the
No,
sand
no, no,
begin
no.
to
No.
in his human form.
No. I think Misfit's also now like sinking back into their own human form as well. No, Tyr, what happened?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. No, you're fine. And Misfit is going to, I think, put pressure on the wound, on the bullet wound, I assume, on Tyr's chest. And there is just blood, I think, dripping down Misfit's hands and arms, all over their lap as they hold Tyr in their arms outside in the rain.
I'm scared. I don't want to die. I'm scared. I'm really
You're
scared.
gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Hold on. I'm gonna get you to safety. Okay, we're gonna get you to safety.
Please don't leave. Don't leave.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Heaven! Eden! Vic, please! And I think Misfit is just like yelling as loud as they can towards the building, trying to get somebody who knows how to fix this.
You see that. Are you carrying him into the building, or are you just screaming from where he is?
I think just screaming from where he is.
The rest of them are all recovering. They're too deep. You know that they were in a cavern downstairs.
I think one last ditch effort. I'm going to use my last luck point in order to use my wings to teleport to where the others are.
Do me a favor and roll weird.
I got a 9.
9. You teleport. You make your way down. As the rest of you are all healing in your own section, you see Misfit almost like crashing down, holding Tyr in their hands. You see tears bleeding from the chest. And Misfit, as you get up, what do you say?
I think Misfit goes to Vic first. Vic, please. You have to help him. You have to save him.
You see it gets cut midway as you see a sword go through your chest into your brother's neck and come out. Your body is pushed to the side as you see the Dread King with blood across his chest. I did warn you not to step in my affairs. Sorry. As you see him pull Calgar out, stabs him into the ground as you see it break into different pieces. A soul released. He picks up the remaining shards and disappears. As we go to one last scene, we see him somewhere underground. We see what looks like to be a figure made out of pure stone with marble blue in between, going, "Did you get it? And why are you covered in blood?" Yeah, I got it, but it came at a great cost. Are you sure this is gonna work? Please, it's the last thing we need. You see, he hands a shard. His figure begins to crush it and mix it in some water. This better work, because I really did something I didn't want to do. Don't worry. When I'm done using this city will tear itself apart all on its own. Believe me, I'm Aries, the goddess of chaos. It's gonna be fun. And that is where it should end today. Yay! As you can see, I broke everybody again. And with that, thank you for joining us for this very lovely episode. If we would be so kind, players, if you are still there, please in reverse order introduce yourselves and give me them plugs.
I'm not still here. To be honest, I think I passed away. So this is my last stream. I'm talking to you from beyond the grave.
Not unlike Tyr, huh?
Yeah. That's a little too soon. Hello everybody, my name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns. Today I was this, but he uses he, the pronouns who just watched his brother die in front of his arms. That's fine, it's normal, it's chill. I'm a tabletop performer. You can find me on Twitter at @Shahid_ and all of the other places on the internet at @Shahid or Lilith Official. I'm Saturday, higher ed, D&D campaign, Strixhaven. I play with C. It's on Vanna's channel. It's gonna be a good time. Okay, CJ.
I got out of this episode pretty unscathed, and I'm still shook. Gay love did not win today, man, or family love. Kind of at a net zero, you know. But I'm CJ. I played Vic, who is the best of us somehow. I'm not doing much these days, but one day I will. Just stay watching me. Yeah, no, I'm good. I guess I'm gonna pass it to Vin. I got it right this time.
Hi guys. What the fuck? Anyway, I'm Vin at VinVoxVA on Twitter. I'm a voice actor and tabletop tortured. Just catch all my announcements on Twitter. I don't really have much of a tag in, let alone a brain. And I'm just gonna slide it to my twin C, wherever they are on this overlay.
Hi. Hello. That's me. Hi, I'm C. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at PieSharpArt. I have a little bit more of a brain because I had that opportunity to be not as shocked. I can't believe we really forgot about an entire sniper, I suppose. All four of us forgot about a whole sniper. Like, that wasn't even, like... Anyway, you can find me also on Saturdays, as Hamna said, playing Higher Ed RPG. We just had an amazing guest last week. But also on Saturday is the very first episode of Arc 8 for Transplanar. Arc 8 Episode 1, there are literally only 8 more episodes left of all of Transplanar until all of it is over. So go read the recap if you're not caught up, or go get yourself caught up. Come visit us in chat at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. We have literally a gorgeous overlay. I worked my fucking ass off, and the episode is amazing. Come join us. It's really great, fully edited, literally god tier storytelling. Hamna also makes a death save there, so I don't know. Come watch, see what happens. It's gonna be fine. It's not fine. You know what else isn't fine? Chris.
That's right, I'm a sick, evil man in the chair. I was your resident keeper for this loving story. Yeah, that's right, you can't kill me. With that, you can find me on my Twitter at VO, there we go, underscore Cologne, COLON. You can find all my voiceover stuff over there. And with that, we do have another episode next Thursday, but we're also going to be doing a talk back. I'm close to affiliate, so a talk back, especially after this event, is great before we get into our 2-part finale, as sadly, there's only 2 episodes left. That talk back is going to be on Monday around the same time, so catch us with everyone here as we talk about all the shenanigery and trauma and pain that we've gone through in these past 8 episodes. But beyond that, have a lovely night, everybody, and see you later.